Hello, friends. Happy Friday. We have made it to the end of the week. Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Chalk Couture. So once you hop on tonight's live or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and tell me where you are watching from. I am live in 2 locations this evening, so if you hear me refer to a comment that is not in your feed, that person may be viewing and watching from a different platform. And if at any time during this project you like what you see and you want others to see it, or if you just want to help out my channel, please feel free to spread the craft love, hit that thumbs up button, hit that heart button, and tag your crafty friends and invite them to watch along with you. Not only does that help my channel, but that also helps you as well, because, sorry, I'm just trying to block some people. Not only helps me, but it helps you because it tells the algorithm that you like this kind of content, and it will start showing you more content like this. So I see that Jason is watching from the other side of the door, and I think I got him. I don't know. Okie doke. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and I'm going to flip the camera. My apologies if it looks like I might have finally have my first taste of some trolls, so we'll see. Okie doke. If you looked at the title of tonight's live, this episode is called Find Out Friday. So I have some Chalk Couture transfers. I have some Chalkology ink. I have some shrink film, and I have a My Mini very hot pancake griddle. So stay tuned and let's see what all of this is about. I'm going to move this slightly out of my way for just a moment so we have room to work. I do also have some 4-inch parchment paper circles here. So I went through my stash. I know that the surface of this griddle is about 4 inches in diameter. So I made these little 4-inch circles out of parchment paper. And I just kind of went through my transfers to see what would fit. And the parchment paper worked great because I kind of knew what I was working with. Let's see, I have a little bit of wiggle room. So the house will probably work, and we're going to do an experiment with the house. I think the nutcracker, the text won't fit, but the nutcracker itself will. These little Merry Mice, I pulled, some of them will work. So I pulled like this little guy and that little guy will work. The ornaments from the ho-ho ornaments will work. If you have the Christmas delivery, some of those images would work great. And then I pulled out a bunch from my stash, like all of the little minis. This was a tiered tray transfer. This was the Oh What Fun ornaments. Some of them will work. I probably won't add the hanger, but some of those images will work. My battery on my phone is dying, so let's plug that in real quick. I'm winging it, folks. I blocked them, so hopefully that stopped them. Okay, sorry, I gotta plug in my phone. It is definitely a Find Out Friday. Let's find out how how unorganized Miss Robin actually is. If you thought I was organized, it's all a facade. So then I went through all of the minis, which these are going to be perfect. All of them fit. If you have some of these in your stash, I have quite a bit in my stash. I also have some for sale if you would be interested. If you're interested, you could put mini down in the comments below, and I will send you pics of what I have. So, and then I also have a variety of craft markers. I have some acrylic markers because I want to experiment with coloring on some of the shrink film. I'm going to spill my drink to see if it'll work. So let's go ahead and just, since he's here, let's start with this nutcracker. And I guess I need some shrink film, huh? And I probably need to get a fuzz cloth. I mean, I kind of hoped those people weren't trolls, but I think they were based on the couple of comments. You know, I always like to get new people on. So I purchased this at Hobby Lobby. Probably in 2020, based on the sticker. But you can get it at, I don't even know what that is. I hope this is all shrink plastic and not something else. Let's get a new page just in case. I think it is. It all feels like the same stuff. But you can get it in, it comes in white. I know you can still get it at Hobby Lobby because I was looking at it the other day. I'm going to put it over the package. That way I can at least see. Actually, let's put one of these behind it. So my white paper will represent, Jason says they were trolls. My white paper represents my shrink film. And because this is plasticky glass, very shiny surface, you're going to probably need to do a lot of fuzzing to make sure that your transfer does not stick so hard that what's going to happen if you've ever used it on glass or metal or even the chalk suede paper, if you pull it up, if it's too sticky and you pull it up weird, it's going to roll up on you. I'm going to do it down here just so I can see it a little easier. But I will show you the best way to pull it up off of surfaces like this. And I chose to use ink. Oh goodness, not that ink. Because I have a feeling that's going to be hot enough to where it heat sets the ink. I would imagine. I don't know how hot it gets, but based on the plumes of smoke that were coming up off of it, I was heating it up. I think it gets pretty hot. Okay, so I'm just going to do the top portion of the nutcracker. I'm not going to do any of the text. So I want to make sure that I don't, I mean, I could cut away anything I don't want, but. So we're just going to ink that. And I'll probably need to let some of this dry. I don't know if I use my quick dry tool, if it'll start to shrink up on me. Again, we're experimenting. I'm experimenting, so you don't have to, but you're more than welcome to experiment. I don't think you need the fire extinguisher ready, plus I have one in here, but okay, so when you pull up off of slick things like this, don't pull back like this on, pull up like straight up toward the ceiling, and your transfer will be less likely to curl. If you pull back straight on it on a surface that it's really stuck down to, then your transfer is going to roll up. So we'll just let that guy hang out a little bit. I am going to wipe the excess away down here, I think. Oops, wiped a little bit too much away. That's okay. We're experimenting. Okay, we're going to let that kind of dry while we go on to our next one. So let's get out do one of these guys. This is from 2023. Oh, what fun ornaments. It's never been used. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so if you are, let's take the time since this is brand new. If you are new to Chalk Couture or need a little refresher, these are reusable silkscreen transfer stencils. They are adhesive backed. They are reusable about 8 to 12 times depending on how well you take care of them. So I am going to write on the back side, oh, what fun ornaments. That way when I am all finished cleaning this transfer and I'm ready to put it away, I know that this is the back side and that the transfer goes on this side. And then you'll notice that there are some suggested trim lines. You can cut your transfer into 5 different pieces, but I like to leave mine all together. So I'm actually going to just lift up a portion of the transfer. Sometimes that's easier said than done. If you kind of roll your thumb, so you can kind of pick it up, and then I'm going to put my scissors on that line, and I'm just going to score it. That way I have one backer sheet to keep track of, and I don't have to try to match all these up with a little tiny piece of backer sheet. And then it's easier to see them if you store them, because then they don't, if you put them back in the package and they're 5 different pieces, they're all going to fall to the bottom. This way you can see every piece all the time. I'm going to get out some gold. Is this one opened? No. And I think we're going to do that star. We're just kind of letting that one sit out a little bit. Yeah, that should work. Yep. Just need to remember not to do the hangy thingy. So I'm just fuzzing it so I can knock back some of the, excuse me, adhesive. Oops, ooh, that's still sticky. And then I'm going to take a little bit of washi tape. You can also use the placement tape. This is handy. I'll never use it because it has purple in it, and it's not Halloween purple. So I'm just going to try to cover up. I'm going to mask the hanger so I don't do it. So I don't paste or ink it. I wouldn't use painter's tape, especially on some of the new transfers, because I have used painter's tape and it has pulled up the teal area and then leaves you with a big splotch of mesh. And sometimes if I was taping right here and I pulled it off, I would ruin the image by pulling up the teal part. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go to Dollar General and buy more wipes. They have my favorite wipes. They smell like coconut, which is yummy. They also don't leave lint. Like, I've used the Walmart Parents' Choice before, and it just leaves behind a lot more lint than I would prefer. I really like the Dollar General ones. So I'm just using some gold ink, and this ink is heat set permanent, so you can use it on textiles, like t-shirts, tea towels, hats. The trucker hats are really popular. You can ink things on trucker hats, shoes, tote bags, jeans, denim jackets. What else? Can cooler, the neoprene can coolers. I did an order of 50 school buses for a friend last year. 50 little yellow school buses on black can coolers. It was super. She did them for a Christmas gift. Again, don't pull back on the transfer. You want to pull straight up. It's kind of hard to do because this shrink film kind of gives on you. That one's going to be pretty. And then to clean these, you just need a water source, whether that's a little tub of water or a spray bottle of water. Let's do the mitten. Or no, the mitten's too big. No, mitten works. So let's do the mitten. Hopefully these will dry soon. Let me try. Let's experiment. Let's keep this experiment going. Let me see what my quick dry tool does. I hope it doesn't get too hot, but it starts to. I just want some air to dry my ink. Nope, it's starting to curl a little bit. I'm just going to hold it really far away. I just want some air to hit it. And you can tell when it starts to dry because it'll go from a shiny to a matte finish. Okay, I think that's drying. It's also starting to curl a little bit. I just want it good and dry before I try to cut it out. Okay, let's see if we can cut this one out while the other one is drying. So you want to do a little bit of fussy cutting. I like to do what I call a bubble cut, where I leave a little bit of edge, because who wants to cut on the lines? Because then that's too much work. It's just a lot easier to try to bubble cut it. So I just kind of try to leave, and it's going to be hard to see because this is clear, but I just try to leave the same amount of edging all around my design. And this is thick enough that it's easy to cut without being too thick. I mean, my edges aren't going to be perfect, but I'm going to cut down here. Oh, hopefully I'm in frame. I probably wasn't. And then it's not the prettiest, but I just realized I have an opportunity for the fun thumbnail. I'm actually going to turn it over and cut it. Honey, I shrunk the Chalk Couture. So I'm going to have to change the title. Okay. So now I'm going to let's bring this guy in. Ooh, it'd be hot. So I'm going to put this little piece of parchment paper down. And it's already curling. And then I'm going to put my little Shrinky Dink down. And then we're just going to close the lid. I don't know for how long. We're just winging it here. I've watched a few YouTube videos, so you know, now I'm an expert. That guy is still drying. Okay, so let's fuzz. Even if I had a 20-foot desk, I'd still only have 2 feet to experiment in. Oh, if you could see my face. Oh my goodness, he shrunk. Honey, I shrunk now I gotta get him off. Burning my fingers. Where are my tweezers? Oh my goodness, he worked. And I've heard the ratio. Actually, let's just take this off. Look, he shrunk. It worked. So now I need like a piece of glass to actually, I don't know if that bowl will work. So they'll kind of bow a little bit. And the benefit of using this little griddle is that if you do it in the oven or you do it in a toaster oven, or you use a heat gun, they'll literally just kind of curl up on themselves, and sometimes they can stick together. And then sometimes you can't get them flattened enough, but with this griddle, because it keeps it stationary, I guess, and there's no airflow, it works really well. It has a slight bow to it. I bet if I put it, and you know what? It's as hard as a rock. Look how cute that little guy. He went from that size to that size. So then you can make a little keychain. You'll have to drill a hole. And actually we need to probably start putting a hole in it before we shrink it, if you want to use it as a little charm. I'm going to stick it back in there just to see if I can flatten it. I may do it from the other side. Just let him sit a little bit. And then we'll fuzz this guy, the little mitten. And I think it says on the package how much it shrinks up to. Shrinks to 20% of its original size. I don't want to leave it in there too long because I need like a thick acrylic block to stick on there. Ow, that's hot. To kind of flatten him out. But for our first one, he's just so cute. Okay. Keep that in there. Shut that. Put that out to the side. And then I think let's try to dry this star. Now the shimmer inks will be a little harder to tell if it's dry. And we might see if the actual, of course, I won't be able to poke a hole if it's not dry. But I can always drill a hole later, maybe. It's crazy how hard it got too. I mean, can you hear? It's like a little acrylic piece. Okay, well, we're going to let that one dry a little more. Let's ink the mitten. And I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to cover up the hanger. I mean, you could probably ink the hanger, but I don't want to. And then let's use kiwi, kind of a fun color. Actually, no. Let's use Couture teal. So I'm just covering up all of the silkscreen area, and I'm trying to get all of my squeegee lines gone. Jason says he's so tiny. These would be perfect for like purse charms and bag charms and planner charms. They're so popular right now. This would be cute to make. You can make stocking tags, bookmarks. They could be little dangles from bookmarks. You can make little Bible charms. That one's going to be super cute. You could use the fonts, the larger fonts, and make initial keychains. Let me go ahead and we're going to cut that one out. Jason has the Shrinky Dinks commercial. I don't remember. I remember the commercial, but I don't remember like any audio from it or anything. I just remember the Shrinky Dinks. Although I shouldn't be, since that's probably a very very trademarked for a product. I had it typed out in my title, but I thought, nope, can't go there. I just want to know what the science behind this is. How does it get harder, thicker? How does it shrink? My corners aren't very pretty. Okay, I'm going to try to punch a hole in the top with the Power Punch, which sadly is no longer available. But you could use a crocodile. I know We Are Memory Keepers has a Power Punch. Okay, so now we're going to put this in there. Get it. That one's all curled up. I don't like that one. In you go. This is fun. I like playing. Let that warm up. We've got a couple of those ornaments. I don't know if I want to try to experiment. I was going to try to color some of them in, but I need to draw around this one, which is going to be a little dicey. Let's check on our star. Oh, it's so tiny. I need something to stick over it. Something to smush it down when I'm done. Something heavy. That has a mostly flat bottom. I don't know. Okay, that one's curling up. Don't touch it with your fingers, goofball. I don't know. I don't know when it's ready. I don't want it to burn up. I don't know if it's going to go down before it goes up. Oh, these might work. Of course, it's plastic. Actually, I found something. This will work. A big old candle. Big old glass candle. So let me get it out and then flatten it. See if that works. Okay, put that away. So now, actually, I want to, and I'll probably end up marking all over this sadly, but I want to draw around this house as best as I can. We're going to have to fill in some blanks where my embellishments are. Okay. I'm not the best drawer. So I'm just going to take it apart. That was easy. So I'm going to draw around it, and then I'm going to color it in so that I can get the brown gingerbread coloring, and then we'll go over it with the, let's check on, oh shoot. Well, that definitely flattened it. So yeah, if you have a heavy piece of something, there's our little star. And remember how big that hole was? Look how, so you do want to start with your hole a little larger than you think it's going to be, because it's going to shrink too. There you go. Hey, Miss Ashley, we are playing with shrink film, so I'm having a load of fun. So we took this nutcracker and we shrunk it down to that, and then we took this star and we shrunk it down to that with some shrink film and a little pancake griddle. It works fabulously. And that's my little weight. Okay, so now we've got a mitten that's drying. I just drew around our Club Couture gingerbread house. Let's put that in there. Ouch. And so I've got some Sharpie markers. I've got some Copic markers. I don't know which one's going to work. Let's try it on. Actually, let's experiment on some of the scrap pieces. I actually think the alcohol markers are going to work better because they won't leave as much streak. Yeah, they don't streak as badly, I don't think. So let's try. I have a Spectrum Noir alcohol marker that I've had in my stash. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how long. Ashley says that's cool. And it's finally seeing the light of day. It is finally getting used. Of course, this may not dry, so a Sharpie probably might have been a better option. This probably won't dry. Probably should have used the Sharpie. Ooh, these are stinky. It's still streaking, but that's okay. I'm just experimenting. It's drying a little bit. Let's do another one. Let's use a different marker. How does Crayola work? Well, Crayola kind of pools up, so I probably wouldn't use those. That one's dry, so kind of. I would stick with Sharpies or alcohol markers. So what are my plans for the weekend? I have to get some stuff. I have a big long list of stuff. I just need to get some Christmas projects done. I'm going to watch the KU K-State game tomorrow, hopefully, and I hope the Jayhawks win. Other than that, I don't have any plans. How about you? Hello, Miss Bonita. She says her daughter surprised her today with a visit, so you're just getting on here. That's okay. I started late, so I didn't start till 8:30. I got on really late. We drove to Ellsworth to take some Christmas stuff there because Race Rustic is having their Christmas open house next weekend. And then the Salina Downtown open house is Sunday the 2nd. So I spent my afternoon. I was able to get off early. Thank the Lord. So I spent the afternoon repricing things from last year and adding a few new things. So we are, Bonita, messing with, and anyone else who hops on later or on the replay, we are playing with shrink film. And so far we inked the Nutcracker onto some shrink film and then used our little mini griddle to shrink the Nutcracker down from this to that. And it gets super hard in the process. We did the star and it shrunk from this to that. I've inked the mitten and we're kind of waiting for it to dry. I have drawn around our house shape so that I can ink on that later, but all of that has to dry. So let's see if we can, you have to be careful with the quick dry tool because it is warm enough that it starts to wrinkle up you can see the film start to bubble up a little bit. But I just want to get it dry. But these would be great for keychains, bookmarks, purse dangles. I was saying you could use the fonts and make some cute little initial charms, charm bracelets, earrings. Ashley says she's just doing the usual house cleaning, laundry, and probably working on pen orders. I keep seeing your posts about your pen orders going out. You are killing it, girl. So then I'm just going to cut these out with scissors. This one isn't totally dry yet, but it's sticky, so it's kind of dry. So I don't cut on the line. I kind of do a bubble cut, so I leave a little plastic edge. That one kind of tore a little bit, but because I don't have the patience to cut on the line. Plus, this gives me something to grab onto when I'm cutting the other side. Smooth that one a little bit. And I'm using ink because I'm assuming that the griddle gets hot enough that it kind of sets the ink. It kind of appears to. Okay, and then I'm going to punch a hole. And I don't normally like this. Cake making is still in the Hobby Lobby sack. So that's how it's going. I did make cookies a couple of weeks ago, but I have not made a cookie cake yet. So normally I don't like how big the hole gets in with the Power Punch. But as you can see with this one, that was the original Power Punch hole. And actually I'll show you the difference after I cut this one. So I'm going to punch it. Oops. So it went from that big hole to that little hole when it shrunk. Shrunk. has had shrunk. So I'm kind of smearing the edge of it with my finger, but so we're just going to stick it in our really hot pancake griddle. We're just going to close the lid. Here is what the Crayola marker did. It went on brown and then it literally just puddled away. Like you can't even tell I colored on it. So Crayola markers are out. That's actually really dry. So is that. And I just kind of check. When it starts to curl up, it's almost done. And then I've got a big heavy candle. That one is pretty close. Do not touch the inside of this because it's super hot. In fact, I'm going to put a piece of parchment over it and then stick my candle on there. Because the other one I had to pry the star off of the bottom. Okay, so let's continue our experiment. And hopefully this ink, the alcohol ink, does not, and it's not the prettiest coloring. This probably isn't the best method, but make sure you fuzz. And yeah. Tell me what you think of the, actually you guys can see a lot. What do you guys think of the portrait view? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you prefer horizontal? Do you not mind this? Let me know. Okay, so I'm fuzzing because this is almost like a glass-like surface. So I don't want my transfer to stick. Let's check our little dude here. Oh, so cute. So there's our cute little mitten. It says warm wishes. So it shrinks down, according to the package, about 20% of its original size. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Okay, so let's let's lay this down. This is just fun to play. And as long as you provided lots of supervision, like the kiddos could chalk and ink all of this stuff, and then the adult could use this, but you could make, this would be such a fun little thing. Okay, I'm going to get out my white ink. Oh, wait. I was just going to say, I wish they had shimmer frost in an ink, but I have my pearly white speedball. What am I using instead of an oven? I'm using this little My Mini, Griddle pancake maker. It's a little 4-inch pancake maker. Let me show you the box. I bought it at Walmart, and they have a 12-inch one on Amazon for like 30 bucks. So it's this little guy. It's a little 4-inch My Mini Griddle. It works better than like you could use a toaster oven, you could use a heat gun, but they tend to curl up like this, and sometimes you can't uncurl them or flatten them enough. So a lot of crafters have hacked the My Mini Griddle, and it does curl up a little bit, but not as badly as, like, the oven creates some airflow, and so does a toaster oven. So it's going to blow around, it's going to curl up a lot more. And the heat gun really makes it curl up. But this doesn't make it curl up as bad, and then you just kind of flatten it. It's just another excuse to buy another. Like, I had a toaster oven and had every intention of just using that, but I can buy another gadget or gizmo, so why not? It does work really well. And some of the YouTube videos that I watched, they preferred the griddle over anything else. And like you can use it, you can use embossing powders. If you use embossing ink, instead of using a heat gun, which kind of blows everything around, you can do that same concept with the griddle. Like if you got like the 12-inch one, you could do, it would allow you to do a lot more images. But until I knew it would work and that I would actually use it, I just went with the 4-inch one. Bonita says, oh, cute. Okay, so let's, and remember, pull straight up, not back to you, not back toward you, because then if you pull back toward you, then your transfer is going to curl up. Darn it. This one's really sticky. It makes it a little harder to pull straight up. And then does that. Okay, stick that on there. Okay, now we gotta dry that. Ashley says she likes the portrait view. It's hard streaming to multiple platforms because YouTube prefers sometimes prefers horizontal, although they also are going more towards portrait. But since Facebook is doing away, they're not doing away with live video, but they prefer reels. And so now, like when I do a Facebook Live, it's classified as a live, so the thumbnails are all in portrait view. And it just looks weird. So I've just been experimenting. So I'm going to flip this around and cut it from the back side. I'm not totally dry yet, but we're going to put our hole in. And this one's a little bigger than my other images have been, but I think it'll still work. Maybe. We shall see. Okay. I think that may be my last one. What time is it? 9:30. I think I'm going to hop off after that one. I didn't do any of the, like the little Merry Mice or anything, but we made 4. We'll do it again. Don't forget the Chalk Wides 25% off sale is still going on, I believe, through October 29th, which would be 1st, 30th, Wednesday. Oh yeah, that worked. Oh, look at all that smoke. That's actually probably the alcohol ink. But it's working. It's kind of stinky, but it's working. Okay, and I used a cute little circle cutter that I got from Hobby Lobby to make all these little 4-inch parchment paper circles. This one's cute. I don't know when to tell if it's done. So I just pulled the whole thing out. I'm going to plop a piece of parchment paper down. I'm going to let my candle smash it. I'm going to turn this sucker off because it's getting hot. It's been on a while. That was fun. They're not perfect, but by golly, they're cute. Let me... I'm just impressed at how much they shrunk, and I just don't understand how they're so much thicker. I mean, I guess I do because it shrinks, and I don't know. The science behind it is amazing. There's the little, tiny little gingerbread house. Which it's really pretty because it's kind of like stained glass. You can kind of, as the light comes through it, you can kind of see it that way. It's really pretty. That's what it looks like from the back. Okay, so that's what we did. We made 4 cute little Shrinky Dinks. Not Shrinky Dinks, I can't call them that. That's probably trademarked. Little Shrinky shapes. Ashley says, so cute. I love the little mitten. So cute. Zipper pulls for cute little hoodies. I mean, they're not the most durable. Like, as it cools, it gets a little more pliable, but, I mean, compared to, I can't budge that. You can hear the difference in the thickness. It's crazy, but fun. I would probably, these would be perfect for UV resin too. I would probably use like a brush varnish or a spray sealer on them, maybe. I'll have to do some experimenting. I'll let them dry for a few days and then kind of do a scratch test. Those are so cute. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okie doke. Okay, tell me in the comments, are you rooting for K-State or KU? You can see who I'm rooting for. There's our little mitten. Again, it went from this mitten, whoops, to that mitten. So cute. This star to that star. The nutcracker, oops, to the nutcracker. And then the house didn't shrink as much as I anticipated. And then the house to the house. I guess it did, because that one was actually the biggest, or the largest. Jason said, fun project, rock chalk. So cute. If you had a little mini Christmas tree, these would make cute little mini ornaments. Okie doke. If you try this, let me know. Post it. Tag Robin's Egg Blue Creations. Or if you're part of the Robin's Egg Blue Creations Crafty Lounge, post it there. And if I didn't make a lick of sense, there's all sorts of videos on YouTube. Just put in shrink film and mini griddle, and you should probably be able to find those videos. But super fun. This won't be the last time we do this, so I'm going to be hunting through my stash to find out what other things I can make. So with that, have a great rest of your Friday night. Have a great weekend, and I hope to be live again sometime this weekend. I have all sorts of projects, so I hope to see you then. Just keep watching my page, and have a great weekend. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.